This conference will now be recorded.
Perfect. Okay, so first let's review kind of our agenda. We went over prospecting best practices the last time we spoke, going over how to handle phone calls, when to the best times to make those calls, how to handle them, how to prioritize leads, how to set detailed next steps and take notes and set tasks and all those items. I know, you've had, kind of restrictions on being able to train your team, but just want to get a progress update from you in that regard before we move forward with today's topic agenda.
Well, like I said, John is out, so I've been training Chris. I gave him some of the notes. I've been going over some of the things that we've discussed. It helped me, had a couple of sales since that implemented some of the things that we did. So
that's awesome.
Obviously the formula works.
Good. So what I encourage you to do is continue to kind of monitor it and find a way to measure it with real data that's within Club Ready, or just kind of review how they've worked certain prospects so you can continue to foster and develop the behavior that we want that becomes a habit over time. Not just in this time period that we're training, but be a long-term habit and a skill set, right? So if you don't mind, I don't mean to micromanage you by any means, but if you don't mind, if I can just kind of review and kind of monitor as well on my end, and I'll just kind of show you what you guys are doing well and areas to improve in the next few weeks. Is that fine with you?
Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so moving on, today's topic is the discovery phase. So the membership questionnaire. I know we kind of reviewed this a little bit when I was over there in Tampa last week, but just want to bring up this presentation again just to kind of go over the whole sales cycle, right? So, prospecting is what we went over last week. Following up is part of that prospecting effort, right? Setting detailed next tasks, working them, and then clearing away to stay organized and efficient. The topic of today's call is what to do during the club visit, right? During the presentation. And more specifically, how to get the most valuable information during the questionnaire discovery phase. Cool?
Cool.
Okay, so moving on to that slide. You see those two handsome gentlemen there? So the purpose of the questionnaire, you're seeing my screen, right, Mike? Just confirming.
No, I'm not.
Oh, no. I'll send you, do you have the GoToMeeting link?
No,
that I sent you last time?
So I can click on.
I'll resend it to you. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
To the Tampa at email, right, Mike?
Yeah, I'm either one. I'm on mine or we can go to Tampa. That's fine.
All right, I'll send it to yours, both. And if you could just save this on your dashboard or as a favorite moving forward. I see you arrived.
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So the questionnaire portion, the purpose of it, we want to build rapport. Why? Again, we went over this, but just going to ask you again, Mike, why is it important to build rapport?
To let them, to just kind of break the ice and let them know, this is a friendly place, just to get them to loosen up a little bit.
right, to loosen up and ultimately earn their trust. Because
Right.
we all know that prospects that are in front of us, they're liars. You know, they're going to lie to us unless we build that relationship where they can trust us, right? And if we earn their trust, they're going to be more truthful in how they answer our questions. And that
Right.
information is going to be more valuable for us to really customize our tour and our proposal at the end of the presentation. Correct?
Right.
Perfect. All right, so moving on, let's see here. Okay, so the first part is the face-to-face meetings that you guys generate. Prioritize it, right? Your time is valuable. It's a finite resource. It's not something that you can get back. You don't have all day, every day to go through busters and not make a sale, right?
Right.
So you want to prioritize qualified prospects. So bring in visits of people that are going to buy. Now, what does that mean,
Right.
and how do we do that, right? So during the prospecting phase, we need to first determine what our ideal prospect looks like, you know, and what do they sound like? What's their demographics? What's their backgrounds? What's their interests? And then we focus more on prospecting our time for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are like the three primary reasons that people join our gym?
For the officiated games.
Right. So the adult recreational people, right, and the youth
Right.
recreational people, the ones that are just looking for places to play in pickup games.
Right.
Exactly. That's one. Okay. What's another one?
The group trainings.
Right. The people that are looking to get motivated to, you know, get more fit or develop their skills through group training. Perfect. What's another one?
The one-on-one trainings.
Right.
Also the personal.
The one that is invested in really, you know, have a specific goal of making a team or, getting a contract or whatever it may be, right? So they just focus on like lifting on their own. All right, so let's address one by one. So those people that are interested in adult training and one-on-one training, what's their primary challenges elsewhere? What can't they satisfy elsewhere that they're seeking a solution to those challenges?
Right.
So I detailed it here, right? They have difficulty finding a training facility that has everything they need, right?
Right.
What other training facility has a shoot-away gun, a Vertimax, a full weight room, a full cardio room, functional training area, organized courts? Do you know
Right.
one? No, right? We're it. And the other challenge they have is, you know, they could go to a Planet Fitness, but it's not organized. So it
Right.
sucks. It's a terrible experience, right? Or they can go to a gym like, a Planet Fitness or perhaps a 24, but during the times that they really want to train, they're distracted because there's too many things going on. It's crowded. They can't get gym space, you know, blah, blah, blah. So they can't focus on really training, right? So those are the qualified prospects for adult training. So if you're able to identify that, then you're able to advance the sale even better, right? More productively. Now, for like youth development or people interested in like fitness development through group workouts, they can't find a place that addresses individual skill development. Where else can you get that, right? You join an AAU team, guess what? They're not really focused on individual skill development. They're working you as part of a team concept, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to a community center, it's cheap. It's cheap because it's not that organized and they don't really help you reach your objectives. I've been to your group workout. I know that shit's going to help them get to their objective, right?
Right.
There's not trainers like you that are going to be as invested in their development as they are in Pickup USA Tampa.
Right.
So for the recreational athletes, their main pain points are they can't find consistent games elsewhere, right? I get that all the time. I'm sure you do. Hey, how's your experience at LA in 24? Oh, it's a hit or miss. Perfect. Got them. I know that they bit the bait, right? Difficulty finding fun, stress-free games. Oh, you know what? I go there, but it sucks. We're always arguing all the time, right? Or like there's delay in games because people are like, oh, what's the count? All that nonsense. And people are getting into fights. Like, I ain't trying to get that. I have to go to work the next day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then organize games that fit their schedule. Oh, I try to go there, but then like I don't really get runs in because I only have an hour to lift or an hour to play in games. But I have to wait for next. It sucks. Well, guess what? We're the solution to that, right? Because we run our games in an organized fashion.
Right.
Make sense? Okay, so that said, the objections are price, time, urgency. So during our questionnaire, our job is to discover what's their value system, right? So that way we can eliminate price as an objection, because price is related to value. If you build enough value, then they're willing to pay for it, right? Time is another objection. How do we block that before they get a chance to project that? Well, we ask them, hey, when are you going to be able to use the gym? So that way they can't make that excuse later. Oh, hey, John, you told me that you're able to come to the gym twice a week on Monday and Wednesday, and maybe some days Saturday. So guess what? Don't lie to me later on when I, present to you that if you're willing to pay a day pass for $10 a day, that amounts to like $90 if you do that way. All I'm asking you is for $40 a month. You have no excuse, right? And then urgency. Urgency is the toughest one for us, but you've lived through it. Our prices change. Hey, I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity to lock in this rate now, because these are limited time prices, right? And that's why we have promotions on a kind of periodic basis to manufacture another sense of urgency, right? Get this now. And you can do it through the membership questionnaire too, outside of pricing, by determining how committed they are to reaching their goals. On a scale of 1 to 10, Mike, how committed are you to making that protein? On a scale of 1 to 10, Mike, how committed are you to get your son to make that starting team? Okay, well, if you say a 10, then there's no time to waste. We need to get started now, right? Or John, for you, listen, we're in our pre-sales mode. We're going through our soft opening in a few weeks' time, and I don't want you to have to pay higher rates because you're not locking in these rates now. So that's a way to build that urgency, right? But we get that through asking questions, like how committed are you to your goals, right?
Right.
So during the membership questionnaire phase, we need to be like good doctors and good psychologists and get really good at pinpointing a focused diagnosis through a series of thought-provoking questions that peels back the onions of the prospect's core value system, right? And we mentioned this before. Are we following the membership questionnaire like a robot, script by script, like that?
Are we? No.
Yeah, are we doing it no, that's not effective. An effective salesperson is someone that comes off as genuine, right?
Right.
But we only can do that if we've memorized this membership questionnaire and really digested it like a good actor that digested their acting script and then been able to act and make it believable. So that's what we need to do, right? We're not going item by item like a robot. We need to customize the questionnaire to the customer. But in order to do that, we need to know the questionnaire by heart and understand the reasoning as to why those questions are put there in the first place. Okay?
All right.
All right, so let's go to the membership questionnaire right now. So, membership questionnaire, how did you hear about our club? That's an easy softball question just to get them to open up. And it gives us their lead source. And the lead source is, again, important for our marketing purposes. So we know exactly what our demographic is and how they're hearing about our club. So now we can allocate more of our resources towards that successful marketing effort. Are you from this area? Again, this eliminates the schedule objection. Because if they live close by or work close by, guess what? You have no excuse but to use our gym, right? What motivated you come into the gym? Again, we address 3 primary reasons people sign up: individual training, group training, or recreational, right? So find out which one is more important to them. And then you can customize the rest of your questions based off of that, right? Current or past gym membership. So this gives you insight onto their pain points, right? Why are they cheating on their girlfriend? Their current girlfriend is their current gym membership or their past gym membership. Why are they cheating on them and coming here and inquiring more about us? Because they weren't fully satisfied elsewhere. Find out what those challenges were and why they weren't satisfied there. And now we can better align what we do as the solution to those challenges, right? Basketball-related goals. You only go through this if you've identified that they're the recreational type or the training type, right? If they're the fitness type, then this is a waste of time. This isn't for them because they're not interested in this, and they're going to get bored with these questions. So don't ask them. But if they said that they're interested in basketball, go and move forward with this. Hey, would you be interested in playing in our games? Great. Then dive into that deeper. Would you be interested in getting group workouts in or private training in? If they say yes, dive into that deeper. If no, then leave it alone, right? And then same thing with the fitness-related goals. Only ask those if they express that that's what they're interested in. And then anticipated, on a scale of 1 to 10, again, a great question to ask to be able to block that urgency objection later on. Oh, let me think about it. Or let me talk to my wife. Hey, John, you told me that you're committed to this goal. What else is there to think about? We've addressed everything, my guy. And then again, schedule. So understanding what their schedule looks like. Okay, so again, go through this questionnaire and know it by heart. So that way when you have a face-to-face, it's real smooth and organic. It doesn't sound like a robot. Any questions about it? I know you've had time to look over it and digest it, right?
Yeah, no question.
Okay, perfect. Do the same with your team. Make sure they're trained properly on understanding each of these items and why it's important. And then once they understand that, role play. Role play, role play, role play. So that way you can work out the kinks. Cool?
Cool.
Can I move forward, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Feel free to stop me if you have any questions on anything or want to expand on any particular topic here. All right. Going back to the framework here. Once you ask those questions and they bite on it, like a good fisherman, you don't want to reel them in right away and be like, oh, LA Fitness is crowded. And then all of a sudden start talking and pitching after that. No, like you want them to expand on that idea, elaborate on that idea and make it more clear. So ask many questions to get them to elaborate. Something like, why do you say that? Why do you say that, the gym is crowded over there? Or tell me more about that. Or explain what you mean by that. Or really, get them to talk more about it, right? Because they'll do your job for you. They'll trash their gym, right? We don't want to be that guy trashing the gym. That's like us if we were hitting on a girl, trashing on the other guy. That's not as effective as getting the girl to realize that herself. By asking her questions, hey, how was that? And then it'll be more impactful that way, right? And the really slick people don't even need you to use words to get this out of them. You can give them facial expressions or gestures like shrugging your shoulders to get them to elaborate even more, right? Because just like they're reading you, I'm reading them, right? So don't disregard what they say, but pay close attention to how they behave. If they're looking at the top left corner of their eye like this when you ask them a thought-provoking question, that means you got them, right? You got them thinking. You did your job through a good question, right? If you got them leaning forward, that means they're engaged. Now, if they're leaning back, they don't really care, right? So you have to pay attention to all the nonverbal cues as well, right? Okay, the biggest thing here that I want you to kind of focus on during the discovery phase, this is for them to talk. This is not for us to talk and pitch. This is for them to talk. So we just ask questions just to prompt them to open up, right? If we talk long during this phase, we're talking wrong. Do not talk long. Have a shot clock in your head. If you find that you're talking for about, 15 seconds, stop and ask a question. Like, does that make sense? Or did you have any questions? Is that cool? A feedback loop, right?
Right.
So this phase is more about them. Get them to talk by prompting them with quality questions. All right, so that covers the bases. We have 20 minutes here that I think would be more productive if we actually role played. Is that cool with you, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you like to be the guy, or would you like me to be the prospect? What's more productive for you?
I'll be the prospect.
You'll be the prospect. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Let me bring up the membership questionnaire here. All right. So say that we've already gotten your information, gotten you to sign our waiver release, kind of did our small talk and greeted you and brought you back to the desk. Okay. So starting from there. So Mike, I appreciate you coming in today. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to ask you a few questions just to get a really clear understanding of what brought you into the gym today and what's important to you. Then I'm going to guide you through a tour of the gym, show you what we have to offer, show you our services and our facility. Then we'll come back to the desk, and then I'll share with you different membership options. Is that cool with you, Mike?
That's fine.
Perfect. All right, so
Yes,
Mike, how did you initially hear about our club?
I heard through a friend.
Okay, what's your friend's name?
His name is Joel.
Joel. Does he happen to be a current member here?
Yeah, he's a member.
Okay. What's his last name? If you jog my memory, you have a few Joels here.
His last name is Thompson.
Joel Thompson. So he plays in our pickup games, right?
Yeah, he does.
Perfect. So how do you know Joel?
We used to hoop at LA Fitness together, and he left, so I wanted to see where he went.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad he told you about it. So it seems that you're kind of more interested in finding a place to get games in. Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, definitely. It's a long line at LA Fitness, so I just would like to play more games than one game a night.
Oh, makes sense. So tell me a little bit more about that. What do you mean by that? That you only get one game a night?
I mean, you got 20 people, 25 people. You got one court. The winner stays on, and then everybody else picks their team. So if you don't get picked, you can't play.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that seems like a struggle. Is that something that's kind of that you enjoy doing, or are you looking for something else that maybe a little bit better?
Yeah, I'm looking for something better. I just like to get more consistent runs and, just maybe more than one run a night, maybe 2 or 3 runs a night, with less arguing and more, just more structure.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So let me ask you, you're going to LA right now, right?
Yeah.
How often, how many times a week do you go, and what times do you usually go?
Well, I go like 3 times a week, but I only play 1 time a week because it's just so crowded all the time.
Because of the limited, right? Right.
Yeah.
So, if it's crowded like that, do you end up lifting or doing anything else? Are you also kind of focused on any fitness goals beyond basketball?
Well, I try to keep in shape, so I'll go lift and do some cardio.
Gotcha. So you do take advantage of the fit. How do you enjoy that experience over there?
Weight room's okay. It's just, sometimes it's crowded, sometimes it's not. It depends on what machines you're waiting on.
Gotcha. Other than that, is there anything else that you enjoy about it, or anything else that you would kind of try to implement to improve your experience over there?
Just more monitoring certain machines, certain time limits on machines.
I see. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Now, let me ask you: do you go in there and just kind of train yourself, or do you work out in groups or private training?
No, I just train myself. I'm not really looking for private training. I'm just, recreational hooper.
Sure thing. Now, if we can kind of show you what we offer here, and find you a better place to play and work out, how valuable would that be for you on a scale of 1 to 10?
I work, so probably like a 7.
Okay, so kind of your struggle from making it a 10 is just kind of your schedule constraints, right?
Yeah, my work schedule.
Got it. And what time do you typically get off work during the week?
Sometimes I get off at, my hours change. Sometimes I get off at 4. Sometimes I get off at 10. It depends on what day it is.
Okay, and you're able to make it to the gym at LA 3 times a week. Do you go during the weekends as well?
I go during the week, like, Monday through Friday.
Okay. Now, if I can find you or provide you a place to play that's more organized and allows you to get more than one game and at least 3, 4, 5 solid games and an organized place to play, would you, increase that score from a 7 to 10 because, your time constraints are kind of are resolved through the organization?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so did you have any questions for me prior to me kind of showing you our schedule and what we're all about, Mike?
No questions. No questions.
Okay, perfect. So that's the end of the discovery phase, right? Do you feel like I got a lot of valuable information for me to use during the tour to really customize that and to customize my pitch later?
Yeah, because
I blocked every objection. I built value because I know what your pain points are and I know what your goals are. What are your pain points? You can't get inconsistent games. That's our ideal prospect. You can't, you don't like the arguing. That's our ideal prospect. The gym is crowded. That's our ideal prospect, right? So, right. And then your schedule. You told me you can come 3 times a week. You can get off of work usually between 4. Perfect. We have our group workouts and our games after that. So right. Now there's really value there, right? And sometimes you can come during the weekend, even more value. And then urgency. Right. I addressed that because you said it would be very valuable to you. It's up to a 10 if I can find solutions to those challenges, right? So you can use this right now. So there's no let me think about it later down the road or let me talk to my wife. I got you already. Now it's my job to use that information as ammo and fire them off during a customized tour and demonstration, right? So again, I'm like a doctor during the discovery phase. I'm not talking. I'm just getting questions. The only time I'm talking is to get questions to get you to talk. Make sense?
Right.
Okay, so let's flip the tables here now that you've kind of heard that. John, you play the prospect, and Mike, you play the sales rep.
Okay.
Is that fair? Okay.
Yeah.
So we've gone through getting the ID, getting the contact information, signing them in, all that, and all the little small talk in between getting to the desk. Now it's just at the desk, we frame the conversation, get their consent, and then go through the membership questionnaire.
John, I appreciate you sitting at the desk. I just want to take you through a couple questions, get to know you a little bit better. Just want to know what made you come into our gym?
I saw your post on Instagram, and it looks interesting how you guys have officiated basketball games.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. So you saw some of the officiated games that were on Instagram?
Yep. It's very interesting. Yep.
Oh, definitely. Do you live close to the area or around the area?
Yeah, I actually live like 10 minutes away.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. So 10 minutes away. What motivated you as far as your fitness goals? Are you looking for basketball, fitness, or both?
Basketball. I like to play basketball. I don't really lift weights or anything like that. I just really like to play basketball.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Mike.
His phone died.
Mike.
Hello?
Yes, Mike. There you are.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know either. So we got to the part, let's see, where you asked the motivated to the gym, and he said he's not really interested in fitness, just basketball. So let's start from there.
Okay, so he said he's just interested in basketball. Okay. So John, do you currently have a membership anywhere else?
Yeah, I got a membership at 24 Hour Fitness. I've had it for a while now. Yeah.
Okay, how do you like that?
I like it. You get to go to different gyms, but really I only go to one gym. But one of the things I don't like is sometimes I get into the gym and it's pretty crowded when you just want to play a pickup game in basketball.
Okay, pretty crowded. When you say crowded, about how many people are usually there for the pickup games?
Sometimes there's like 30 people.
30 people.
You know how it is. Yeah, you know how it is. Sometimes, yep. Sometimes I'm there waiting for a game, and it's gonna take an hour till you actually get into a game.
Okay, yeah, that can be monotonous at times. Is it just one court, or do they have two courts? Not really familiar with the gym.
They have one court.
Oh, they have one court. Okay, all right. They have one court. So you, why did you end your membership? You end your membership because it was just way too crowded?
No, I haven't ended my membership yet.
Okay, you haven't ended your membership yet. Okay. So so one of the things that makes us different from other gyms, we have officiated pickup games where we actually have referees on the court. So is that something that you think you'd be interested in?
Yep. That's what I'm interested in.
Okay, definitely. So you would participate in the pickup games. We also offer group classes just to get you ready and get your fitness, get your blood flowing before the officiated games. They're an hour long. They start an hour before the officiated game. Something else you might be interested in?
Yeah, though I'll be definitely interested in that too.
Oh, that sounds great. Sounds great. Well, I see that you're basketball focused. Are you interested in maybe doing some one-on-one training, trying to improve your skills?
Probably, but my real focus is I wanted to go play basketball.
Okay, definitely. Well, what we do have is when you become a member, we also offer a skills assessment. So that'll be training for us to actually see where your basketball-related skills are, and then we can go from there. Just something to put on your mind, put fresh on your mind. What
Okay.
about what about your fitness goals? You said just basketball. Would you be interested in working on your cardio at all?
No, just really basketball.
Just really basketball. Okay, definitely.
Yeah.
I understand that. Okay. Well, that was Paulo. Did you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm looking at you do the arrow. I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
No, I'm just scrolling it down. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how often would you say you go to the gym? You use your gym?
I go 3 to 4 times a week.
3 to 4 times a week. Would that be 3 to 4 times Monday through Friday, or the weekends as well?
I typically go from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's perfect because we have officiated games during those days where we start at 7 to 10 p.m. So you would definitely be able to participate in that.
Okay.
And on the weekends, I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, like I said, the officiated games are from 7 to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, Friday being a free gym. So we definitely have something that accommodates you on those times.
Okay, perfect. So how much is it?
What I'd like to do is try to get you well, he's already there. So I just want to give you a little tour of the facility. Once I give you a tour, we'll come back, if that's okay, and we can discuss memberships. I actually want you to see, what we offer here. Show you the different, show you the court, the different machines the different shooting machines, and also the Vermax, something that might help your basketball game as well. So when we come back, I'll go over some membership offers. If that's okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
So the discovery phase is done now, right? Okay, so let's debrief on that and kind of differentiate what was different about that process and our process. So Mike, your feedback first, kind of how you felt about that, and and some areas that you feel you could have improved on, or some areas that you did really well.
I could have improved on just sticking to what he wanted, the basketball aspect, because that's exactly what he talked about, basketball.
I agree.
Nothing else related. Yeah.
I agree.
I didn't have to mention the one-on-one because he just was interested in the pickup games, and I could have went from there.
I agree. Anything else?
You kept saying times. I thought I mentioned the times.
Yeah, you don't want to mention your times because he doesn't care about our times. He only cares about when he's going to use the gym. So find that out. Right. Don't pitch. This is not our time to pitch. The discovery's time is not the time to pitch out what we do. Find out what's his schedule look like.
Got it.
Make sense? Okay, John, any kind of insight or feedback from you?
I think you did pretty good. Like we all mentioned, I was really just focused on basketball. So me getting into a one-on-one training probably is not really. It's an added benefit. It would have been an added benefit, but it's something that I'm not interested in. So I think just focusing straight on what I really want would have been great.
Right.
Yeah.
And a really effective way to really get that information is to understand when they use the gym and what times. Yeah. Peel back the onion on his current experience at his current gym membership, because what he's doing there is going to be similar to what he's going to be doing with us if he decides to move forward with that, right? So this goes back to this part of the agenda that we discussed. No, not that. Sorry, there's so many. Oh, here it is. This mini questions. We don't want to just ask that one question. How's your gym membership? How do you like it over there? And then him tell us about that and then stop there. We want to get him to elaborate further on that, right? Okay, well, tell me a little bit more. Like, what times do you usually go? When do you usually go? Okay, rather than asking, are you interested in fitness? If you notice the nuanced way I did that is I asked them, hey, like if you're not playing over there, do you find time to work out and use the fitness area over there? Right? So rather than asking if he's interested in fitness, we'll know that if he answered yes or no to that question. And he'll find ways to elaborate on his actual experience by asking it that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And, always ask these questions. Peel back that onion. Hey, tell me a little bit more about that, right? Like, how do you actually get those kids organized? Or explain what you mean about, kind of your challenges that you just explained. Or really, like, oh, man, I tell me a little bit more. Why do you not like that? Why is that something that's not that doesn't satisfy you?
Would you be wise to say, you know what, a lot of our members say the same thing?
Yeah, no, if you look at how we make decisions when we're buying a product through Amazon, how do we do that? What's part of our decision-making process? We look at reviews. We see if other people are doing it. Because if other people are doing it, it must make sense. So same thing here. Interject that in a slick way. Hey, our other members, that have been at 24, they've said similar things. So, but, tell me a little bit more about your specific experience. You don't want to make it generic. You want to be more about them, right? But you can interject that in a really nuanced way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I think you did a great job, Mike. Again, internalize this questionnaire. So rather than kind of making it like a robot and you're like spitting it out line by line, find ways to make it really flow and organic, right? And use these mini questions to elaborate further. Again, going back to that analogy of a fisherman that gets a fish to bite on the bait, they don't reel them in right away. They let it go a little further so that that fish is really hooked. And the way that we do that is to have these mini questions, right? Ask them to dive deeper into it. Peel back that onion a little further so you get to the core. Cool?
I understand. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so make this your own, and then once you're an expert at this, you can start training your guys and developing and nurturing them. And so that way you have a whole team doing this. And then your production as a whole is going to be even more elevated because of it. All right, so just going back to the training agenda ahead. So that completes this session of the discovery phase. Before we end it, did you have any questions or anything to add, Mike?
No, sir.
Perfect. And are you still good with doing session 3, going about through the presentation itself, the tour and the demo phase on Monday?
Monday at what time?
You tell me. What's a good time for you?
2 o'clock my time.
2 o'clock Eastern? Okay. I'll look at my calendar and I'll let you know. Okay?
Okay. All right. That'll work.
Okay. Right. And then just, again, always go back to it. There's like training, we can't just train and pray that they do something. We train and then we continue to develop by, monitoring it, reviewing it, and see if it's actually getting done. And then when they do it, if they make mistakes, address it. So that way they have an opportunity to fix it. And you keep fixing it until it becomes a habit. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I have this conversation recorded. What I'm going to do is send it out to you and Darren for you guys to review and digest on your own, and then you can use it however productive means you feel that you can use it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Hey, good luck over there, okay?
Yeah, good luck today, brother.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Actually, we want to please